After brokering peace between his director, Margot, and video store clerk, Liam, the person who was trying to blackmail her, it was time for Kevin to switch gears and continue his pursuit of the Upper Realm. As far as he knew, the secret Lumiere Brothers film reel contained hidden information about how to reach the Upper Realm, and now that he had his hands on it again, it was finally time to take a look at it. He returned to Lucia de Mello's house to view it on her old projector. As the film reel began to spin inside the projector, a title card flickered onto the screen that read, "Viewer beware. Once you've gazed into the mystery of the Upper Realm, there is no going back." After reading the words out loud, Lucia looked at Kevin with a confused look on her face. "The Upper Realm?" she asked. "What's that? The name of the movie?" Kevin shook his head. "No. It's a place that only people with cultivated power bases can reach. You know, people with levels. Apparently, this film reel contains clues about how to reach it." Lucia still looked baffled. "You mean the Lumiere brothers were leveled fighters?" Kevin shrugged. "I'm not exactly sure. All I know is that they took whatever they knew about it and put it into this film reel. Look, it's starting." As the title card faded, Kevin and Lucia quieted themselves and focused on the screen. For a minute or two, all they saw were flickering white lines, geometric shapes, and scratches on the old film. At first, Kevin thought the flickering shapes were just some kind of intro, but after a few minutes, the film reel came to an end and the screen went black. "That's it?" Lucia asked. "Did you see the same thing as I did? All I saw were a bunch of scribbles." Kevin was just as confused as she was. "I only saw random shapes and scribbles too. Are you sure the projector is working correctly?" Lucia took a look at the projector and nodded. "Yeah, the projector is working just fine. Maybe it's some kind of code we can't understand." Kevin was at a loss of words. "I can't believe it," he said. "This was supposed to complete the puzzle about how to reach the Upper Realm. I've been searching for answers for so long, and this is what it's all been leading to? A blank piece of film? Maybe the Upper Realm is just a myth, and I've been on a wild goose chase this whole time." Lucia didn't understand much about levels or the Upper Realm, but she still sympathized with Kevin's feelings. "Don't give up hope," she said. "I'm sure that if you stay vigilant, the answers will eventually reveal themselves. They usually do." Kevin sighed as he retrieved the film reel and stuffed it back into his satchel. "Thanks for the words of encouragement, Lucia. I'll let you know if I learn anything else." With that, Kevin said goodbye to Lucia and drove back to the Beverly Hills Hotel. It was late at night, but after such a big disappointment, he wasn't ready to go to sleep yet. Instead, he took a walk around the hotel, trying to burn off his restless energy. Why would the Night King push me in this direction if it was all for nothing? He wondered. For months now, the Night King had been encouraging Kevin to solve the mystery of the Upper Realm, but after so many dead ends, he was beginning to think that it was all just a distraction. He had so much on his mind. Lily and their twins who would be born soon, expanding his empire into Hollywood, the threat of the pinnacle that constantly loomed. And yet now Kevin feared that though he thought he was on the verge of finding out the truth about the portal to the Upper Realm, where his powers would be distilled and he would become a master, he was further away than ever, and it all might have been a wild goose chase. When he reached the hotel pool, he looked up at the moon and frowned. "You've led me astray, Night King," he muttered to himself. "I should have never listened to you in the first place." Then, when Kevin looked down, he saw a mysterious reflection in the pool. It was the Night King, but Kevin didn't see his real body where it should have been. All he saw was his reflection in the pool. Nonetheless, the reflection started speaking. "So, you think I've led you astray, do you?" the Night King whispered with a bit of amusement in his voice. Kevin crossed his arms and nodded. "You keep saying the fate of the world depends on me discovering the Upper Realm, but the clue you sent me to find turned out to be a total bust. There was nothing on the film reel at all. If it's really so important that I find the Upper Realm, why don't you just tell me how?" The Night King answered assertively. "You know that's not how it works, Kevin. As your guide, I can only nudge you in the right direction. You mustn't give up now, young warrior. You are closer to your destiny than ever before." Kevin threw his head back and laughed. "Closer than ever before," he said. "I've never felt further from achieving my potential in all my life. I have no idea where to go from here." The Night King paused and chose his next words very carefully. "You must have faith, Kevin. Faith in me. Faith in yourself. Faith in the universe. The answers will come to you naturally if you calm your mind and allow them to appear. Hollywood is a hectic place. Have you considered returning home for a while?" Kevin turned away and scratched his chin. "I am starting to miss Lily an awful lot. Maybe you're right, Night King. Maybe I could use a break from all of this Hollywood stuff." Then when Kevin turned back to the pool, the Night King's reflection was gone. All that was left was his echoing voice saying, "Refresh your mind, Kevin. Find inner peace, and the answers will come." After the Night King disappeared, Kevin looked up at the moon and took a deep breath. "All right, Night King," he thought to himself. "I'd be lying if I said I wasn't frustrated, but I won't give up on finding the upper realm just yet." Then he strolled back to his room in the presidential suite and went to bed. The next morning, Kevin started packing immediately. When he walked into the living room with his suitcase in hand, the others looked at him with surprise on their faces. "Going somewhere?" Emo asked with a fresh cup of coffee in his hands. "I'm going home to Chicago for a while," Kevin said. "Don't worry, I won't be gone for long. Can you make sure Madam Spatzel doesn't get into any trouble while I'm away?" Sandra chuckled. "We can certainly try at least." Just then, Madam Spatzel burst into the living room and stretched her arms with a glowing smile. "Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to the beach to look for dolphins if anyone would like to join." Then she noticed Kevin's suitcase and raised an eyebrow. "Are you going somewhere, Kevin?" she asked. Kevin nodded. "I'm going back to Chicago for a little bit, madam. Don't get into too much trouble while I'm gone, all right?" Madam Spatzel gasped. "You mean you're halting production on Cleopatra? But Kevin, my career is just beginning to blossom. You can't leave now." Kevin began to put his shoes on while answering her. "Don't worry, madam. Sabrina needs at least a few more days to finish the script, so the production is on pause anyway. If you need anything while I'm gone, I'm always just a phone call away." Madam Spatzel sighed. "All right, Kevin, I understand. In the meantime, does anyone want to come to the beach with me? I have a very special connection with dolphins, and know they will come when I call them forth. Trust me, it's not something you want to miss." Sandra, Emo, and Adriana fell silent. Finally, after an unbearably long and awkward silence, Emo sighed and set down his coffee. "All right, fine. I'll come with you." Madam Spatzel began to clap and squeal with excitement. "Yay! Thank you, Emo." Before running back into her bedroom to change, Madam Spatzel turned to Kevin and said, "Bye, Kevin. Don't be gone for too long, you hear?" Kevin smiled. "I won't, madam. See you later, everyone." Then he hauled his suitcase out the door and took a taxi to the airport. When he landed in Chicago a few hours later, he turned on his phone and saw he had received some photos from Madam Spatzel of dolphins playing in the water. The message read, "Look, I called them forth." Kevin chuckled and texted back, "Even the dolphins know you're a star." Then he got a message from Lily that said, "Hey, honey, I'll be there at the airport to pick you up. Can't wait to see you." As Kevin got off the plane and hurried to baggage claim, he looked around for Lily, but didn't see her anywhere. He did see a giant flock of paparazzi buzzing around someone near the exit, though. At first, he assumed it was just a celebrity, but as he got closer, he heard a familiar voice. "One at a time, please. I can't answer all your questions at once. And could you please turn down the brightness of your cameras? I can't see a thing." Kevin recognized Lily's voice instantly, but couldn't see her through the crowd of reporters gathered around her. "Mayor Williams," one of them shouted, "is it true you intend to replace Chicago's L train system with a brand new state-of-the-art monorail?" Before Lily could answer, another reporter pushed forward and yelled out another question. "Mayor Williams, what's your stance on education reform? There are many who say the public school system is failing the children." Overwhelmed by the bright flashes and loud chaotic noise, Lily was starting to feel a bit dizzy. I certainly don't want to fail the children," she said. "I think what we need is a little more Just then, another reporter cut her off mid-sentence. "Do you intend to fill the potholes on 38th Street? Frankly, ma'am, it's like a war zone out there." Lily opened her mouth to answer, but her stuttering was starting to worsen. I think I'm getting a little lightheaded." Kevin's heart dropped into his stomach when he saw that Lily was beginning to faint. Especially because she was pregnant, he couldn't let her fall, but she was still too far away to catch her in time. "I have to do something," Kevin thought. And just then, an idea came into his head.